Hi everyone. VARC is a section that some students ace effortlessly, while others constantly struggle. After spending hours on common forums, it's become clear that many students, especially engineers, struggle with VARC. Hi, I'm Sanjana. I'm an engineer and I coach for VARC at MOCAT. I take these exams every year, not just as a teacher, but to stay in touch with its evolving nature. This is what helps me understand the mindset of the question setters, the way they frame their questions, and the way they lay traps and options. And that is what helps me create the most relevant practice content for our students. Every mock, sectional, and practice question at MOCAT is personally curated by Vignesh and me. And that is what helps students ace the CAT exam. And we don't just stop there. We mentor our students one-on-one, we'll analyze their mocks, identify patterns and weak areas, and work with them to fix this. This one-on-one mentorship and guidance is part of our flagship program, the Unlimited MBA Pack. But even our self-prep pack has top-tier content with 160 plus hours of video lessons, 15,000 plus practice questions, 50 plus mocks, 70 plus sectionals, and much, much more. And the self-prep pack is currently being offered at a steep discount to help you ace CAT 2025. If you want to understand more about any of these packs or you want to interact with me one-on-one, then call the number that's on the screen in front of you. But now let's come back to VARC. After a decade of coaching MBA aspirants and helping them get through IIMs and other top B schools, a few patterns started to emerge for me. Ma'am, I'm stuck between two options. I can't understand this RC. I'm spending time reading articles, even Aeon essays, but my marks in VARC are fluctuating. I knew that I had to work to fix this. So I took a step back, I analyzed these, and I came up with a tool which now forms the core of our VARC prep for every student at MOCAT. And that is MOCAT's POV. This POV tool has helped students break through the confusion, eliminate the trap options, and score 99 plus percentile in VARC. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how it's done. The point of view is nothing but the author's viewpoint and the relevant supporting points. This is something which is crucial to helping you solve the inferential questions and what I call the meaning questions, which form the major chunk of all CAT RC questions. Now, I do have a lot of techniques and solved examples in my lesson. So let's use some of these techniques to try out the POV for an article, and we'll also use it to tackle a CAT RC. And you'll see how easy it becomes to understand the author's view if you follow these techniques. Here, we'll read an article from The Economist, a website that's quite popular with the CAT examiners. Now, of course, you're not going to have the headline or these graphs and all, so just ignore that and focus on the text itself. I will have the link for you in the description and the first pinned comment. If you want, you can pause the video and try to read it yourself, or you can just do it with me right now. I will be using some of the techniques that we have in my lesson, which is what makes it easy for us to understand. And the first technique is to focus on the first one or two paragraphs where we get the context and often the author's view. So starting off, for decades, a big story in education has been the ascent of girls. They now outperform boys in most subjects, leave school with better grades, and are more likely to get a university degree. Another important technique is focusing on keywords, and contrasting words like but are very important because a lot of the times the author's view will come right after that, and that's something you see here as well. But one subject remains a problem. Across much of the world, girls lag behind in maths. That pushes girls away from certain careers and drags down their future earnings. So this is what the article is likely to be about. Not the part about girls doing well in education, but the part that they are doing badly in one subject, which is maths. But that's important because that can cause a reduction in their earning. Now, if you see, I've used a shortcut here, and I would definitely encourage you to use more. Use shortcuts, use connectors, because we have limited time in CAT and we want to solve as many questions accurately as we can without wasting too much time writing long notes. In fact, the amount of notes that I take here is the maximum that you should take. And now coming on to the second paragraph, if you see, there are a lot of names and numbers. I don't really care if there were 2.6 million children tested or 2.4 million. I want to know the findings of the tests. That I'm getting over here. So this is what I will focus on. there was no clear difference at the beginning of the school year. Little bit few more nuances are given about the structuring, but this is my important part. Both boys and girls had the same ability at the beginning of the school year, but after just 4 months, a gender gap emerged, and by the next year, there were twice as many boys as girls in the top 5%. Now, little bit more we have about the trend and all. This becomes the main thing. So, girls are lagging in maths despite having the same ability. How do I know that? Because in the beginning of the year, there was no clear difference. The gap emerged after a few months of school itself. Another technique that I have is focusing on the first sentence of every paragraph, because usually that will give us the context. And these two set words are telling us that this is the paragraph where I'm going to get the reason. Why is it that girls started with equal ability, but then their performance dropped? Now again, the name is not important, but she is an expert, so we will listen to what she's saying. And she says, the divergence is not driven by ability, but by anxiety. Maths is usually taught and tested competitively and under time pressure, conditions that girls have been taught to fear. Now, let's say you don't know the meaning of the word divergence. Who cares? The next sentence is more than enough to understand. Maths is taught in a stressful way, and this is something that girls don't do well at. We also have other studies backing this up. So, the author is also supporting this expert. That's important. We need to know that the author is supporting her. So, this now becomes my reason. Continuing on, stereotypes that boys are naturally better with numbers can make the problem worse, undermining teachers' confidence in girls, girls' confidence in themselves. Assumptions can come from parents too. Again, a little bit of a nuance here, which is connected to the previous part. And if we do have a question around students from well-off families, we will focus more. But right now, this becomes my second reason. Now that I've understood the problem, why girls are not doing well in maths, rather than focusing on which countries and what is the reporting and what Italy is doing, I'm going to read on and try to see if either I have other reasons, other implications, or best would be solutions. And that is what we are getting over here. Learning in small groups focused on solving problems, different testing, collaborative learning. These are the solutions that we have. These are the solutions that are being tried out now to see if this can help girls to retain their natural ability and do well in maths. And that is what I have captured in my POV as well. And just this bit plus the solutions, one line, is all that you need to solve the majority of questions. And let's now use these same techniques to crack a CAT 2024 RC. And now we will use the exact same techniques to solve a CAT 2024 RC. This is an interesting one about streaming platforms. I will have a link to the RC for you in the description and in the first pinned comment, so you can pause the video, just go through it once first and then solve it with me. So we'll pay attention to the first paragraph, of course. And here we have a couple of examples. First, we are being told that HBO Max subscribers discovered that dozens of the platform offerings had been quietly removed from the service. Again, I'm not focusing on the names. It's enough for me to understand that HBO Max is removing a lot of shows or movies. We do have another example. Netflix had begun editing older episodes of Stranger Things to retroactively improve their visual effects. This is something which Netflix denied, but both examples have been given to us. Now, what is the implication here? That is given here. The news seemed like vindication to those who had long warned that streaming was more about controlling access to the cultural commons than expanding it, right? So both of these are basically vindicating the people who have been warning us that, hey, these streaming platforms, they are controlling access to the media. They are controlling access to the movies and shows rather than expanding it. Now, just the way it is written, those who had long warned helps us understand that this may or may not be the author's view. We've got to keep reading and figure it out. Now again, the first sentence of every paragraph. This sentence tells us very clearly what this paragraph is about. What's less clear is whether the commonly prescribed cure for these cultural ills is the right one. So what is this commonly prescribed cure or solution? Physical media, right? So here we have been told that streaming platforms are making some changes. At the very least, they are removing certain shows or movies. Now, the solution which is often recommended, for when streaming platforms sort of like, control the access or, control what they're offering us is have your own media, right? Have your movies and shows, everything with you. Now that it's not clear if that is the right solution. And here the authors actually given a lot of stats, a lot of facts to prove that, right? They are telling us that Blu-ray discs may claim to stay there for 100 years, but that may not be the case. What if it's not stored properly? What if we don't get reading equipment? It's already happened with DVD. If you're moving from one country to another, then you might not have access. Even if you do have access, file formats will change. There could be data decay. So there are a lot of things given over here, which is essentially proving that physical media is not going to work. Now, thus far, it definitely seems that then the author is saying that this is an issue, right? That streaming platforms seem to be all that we have to depend on, and that is what makes it an issue. So I'll just write streamers in short rather than writing streaming platforms. So this is my problem. And it's a big problem because I don't seem to have a solution, right? Or I can just say there's no solution at present. Then the author is deepening the problem. Again, the first sentence important. In a sense, none of this is new. And then we have a couple of examples to show how earlier also this has happened, where Charlie Chaplin has intentionally burned the negative of his film. Films have been lost with accident, negligence, or even indifference, right? So earlier also, way back, these things have happened. Films and movies have been destroyed. But back then, at least, cinema was defined by its ephemerality. Let's say you don't know the meaning of ephemerality, doesn't matter. The next part makes it clear, and that is exactly how the examiners will help you. So if you don't know a few words, just try to understand it from the passage. So what does this mean? A film was as good as gone once it left your local cinema. This makes sense. Look at these times, right? This was way back. I don't know if TV was there. Definitely cable was not there. So what was happening? A movie comes to the theater. Once it's gone, it's gone. You're not seeing it again, right? Now, of course, that is not the case. Today, with film studios keen to share the breadth of their back catalogue. So today, film studios are saying that we have a lot of movies, right? A lot of past movies or shows and all we have. And we know that these streaming platforms also do the same. So with this, today's audiences may start to wonder why those same studios seem happy to set the world alight themselves if it will help next quarter's numbers. So let's unpack this sentence, right? So earlier, people at least were okay with it. In the past, they knew a movie is coming and it's going. So if at all the movie, the negative or the movie itself was destroyed, it didn't matter as much. But now these studios themselves are saying, hey, we have so much to give you. Then why is it that they themselves are destroying it? What is setting the vault alight? Setting the vault on fire, right? They are themselves destroying it, which is a metaphorical way of saying that we don't have access anymore. So this part gets connected to the initial part where we are being told that streamers could remove things, right? So both studios and streamers are saying that they have a lot, but then they don't actually provide it. If it will help their revenue, they are actually taking things away. So today's audiences are definitely blaming the streamers and the studios. I'll just add studios as well. Now, a lot of times a complaint I hear from students is, I'm not able to take notes, it takes a lot of time. Trust me, this much is all that you need to solve all the 4 questions. We'll come back to the passage, but understanding the author's view is going to be good enough here. So we have a couple of inferential questions here. Let's start with the second one, which is more straightforward. Which one of the following statements about art best captures the arguments made in the passage? So this is just another way of asking us what the author's view is. And what I like to do here is just articulate the author's view. I've already written it down for you. In a sense, what the author is saying is art, which here is movies and shows. It seems like now we should have access to it. Now we should always have access to it because of technology. But that is not the case. Streamers and perhaps even film studios are restricting our access or going back and making changes. So I'm looking for something like that. And that, if you see, is clearly there in the first option itself. As art is increasingly created, stored and distributed digitally, Access to it is counterintuitively likely to be made more difficult by the rapid churn in technology and the whims of host platforms. So, what is happening here? Art is something which is now more digital, more tech. So, it should be available to us. That is why it is counterintuitive that it is not, right? It is illogical, but we still have less access because of two things: tech issues, which are covered here, and host platforms, which is what the passage is primarily about. So, this definitely seems to be the right answer. Now let's quickly look at the other options. In the age of online subscription services, it's time to change our understanding of classic works of art being primarily immutable, that is permanent or unchanged, and easily available to the public. But this was never an understanding. Even in the past, in fact, in the past, we didn't even have access. The moment it's gone from the theater, it's gone. So this is factually incorrect. So we'll eliminate it. And these two options, if you see, are your traps. Why? These are inferences. Based on what's given in the passage, based on the arguments, you can infer these. Now, you might read this passage, you might get angry and say, yes, this is true. We should have access in perpetuity and so on. But this is not the argument which is being made. This is the argument which is being made. So this becomes the right choice, and beware of traps like these. If the question was which of the following can be concluded based on this passage, or which of the following is the author likely to agree, and you didn't have option 1, you might come to these. But the argument that is made is this one. And now that we've solved this question, let's take it up a notch. We're going to try the most common inferential question which we get in CAT. Which of the following statements, if true, would strengthen or weaken the author's view? Here we are being asked to invalidate, which is like weaken or undermine. So taking all of these 4 options to be true, even if it is going against the passage, look at it as new information given. If this is true, which is completely attacking the arguments made in the passage. I've already explained the arguments made in the passage. So let's look for something which is undermining or attacking. And again, you have it in the first option itself. Studios and streaming services have committed to giving customers perpetual and platform independent access to the original digital content that they have paid for. What is perpetual? It means forever, right? So studios and streaming services both are saying, hey, if you've paid for it once, you can move platforms, it doesn't matter, you're going to have permanent access. This is something which is completely attacking the RC. It is making my entire RC irrelevant, because what the author is saying is that they are controlling, we might not have access, there might be decay, blah, blah, blah. If this comes in, everything is gone. So this has to be the right answer. If you look at the remaining 3 options, they are all attacking smaller parts. This is about Blu-ray disc. This is about how you might not have file decay because of cloud storage. This is about regions, all of which is given here. These are all smaller parts. This is something which is completely attacking the RC. So this becomes your right answer. And now we have a couple of what I call meaning questions, where you have a phrase or a sentence from the passage and you've got to understand it, but it's not the literal meaning. You have to understand it in the context of the RC itself. And both of these, if you see, I will tell you how to solve and get the right answer, because there are 2 tricky options. So let's start with this. Netflix has begun editing old episodes of Stranger Things to retroactively improve their visual effects. What is the purpose of this example used in the passage? So both of these examples have been given to us to tell us that streaming platforms are making changes, and these people are basically warning us against them, right? So both of these are basically vindicating the people who are warning that streaming is more about controlling access rather than expanding. So streaming platforms are maybe not doing the right thing. And that is something which, if you see, you have here to show a practice that justifies the fears of people. So bringing in these other people who feel streaming platforms cannot be trusted to be custodians of cultural artifacts like films. So this becomes a right answer. Now you might be tempted to go for what is a trap option, to show that streaming services are controlling access to the cultural commons rather than expanding it, right? Why is this a trap? A lot of times the wrong option will have words from the passage. It won't always be wrong, but if you have options with words from the passage, it's easy to get attracted and go for it, because we remember these words and we'll be like, okay, this should be the right answer. But understand the meaning. Always double check something like this. While this is directly given, this is a more overall point, right? Here what is happening is these people are warning us that you cannot trust these services, right? You cannot trust streamers. So this becomes a better answer than option 4. We can also use tone to eliminate option 1. Option 1 is actually attacking these people. And while this report was denied by Netflix's creators, it may or may not be true. And the author more or less seems to be a little against these host platforms because we've discussed a problem. So I will eliminate this option. Even though these reports might be unsubstantiated, it is going against the author's tone. So we'll eliminate it. This one, the first part seems correct. Art is no longer sacrosanct, but I have an issue with no longer sacrosanct because we know in the past also it has not been sacrosanct. Second is changing tastes or technology is not coming. Paradoxically, what Netflix is doing is they are trying to go back and change and improve a particular show which is wildly popular, right? So we are not looking at changing tastes or technology. So we'll eliminate this and we will go for this. I think the biggest learning out here is to use this elimination technique whenever there are options which have same words from the passage. Please go back and double check. Only if you're very sure you should go for it. Now, a common issue which a lot of MBA aspirants face is this. I'm stuck between two options. I'm not sure how to eliminate it. I'm always going for the wrong one. If that is an issue that you face, definitely subscribe because I am going to show you how you can utilize the POV and some of my elimination techniques to find the right answer. And if you want to go the whole hog and you want to, use my videos, my lessons, my techniques and target a 99 percentile, just call the number that's on the screen in front of you. But now let's look at the fourth question where I feel you get the biggest learning for a meaning question. Just look at the sentence. Back then at least, cinema was defined by its ephemerality. The sense that a film was as good as gone once it left your local cinema. So once it's left the theatre, the film is gone. Right? Now, when we are asking which of the following statements is suggested by the sentence, it really seems like you would go for this, right? Around a century ago, people were more accepting of not having access to films once they left the local cinema because this seems to be directly saying this. Wrong. Whenever you have a meaning question like this, you have to look at the entire context. What are these two paragraphs, or at least what is this paragraph telling us? Back then, audiences were more forgiving. Now, there is no reason why we should think of cinema as ephemeral. Then why is it that these guys are taking this access away, right? So we have to compare the past and the present, and that you have over here. Today, films are expected to be available for a long time since they are no longer tied solely to their stay at the local cinema. So this, if you see, is the connection or the inference I am making based on this sentence. The second part is directly what's given here, but I am using the context and the author's view to choose option 4 and not option 3. If you look at option 1, presently there's no reason why they should remove access once they've left. That is not my main context. We are not saying that you don't have access. Of course, with streamers and all, you do have access, but that access could get revoked. The access could go if you're going to a different country and so on and so forth, right? So this is not exactly factually correct. Instead, we'll go for the fourth option. And this is factually incorrect. Cinema is no longer as ephemeral because the technology has improved. But just technology is not enough. Even with the technology being there, we can have issues, and that is why we are dependent on streamers. So using the author's view, we can easily come to the right answer. And the other thing which we are using here is the different question types. Again, in my lesson videos, I go in depth into these question types: direct single, direct multiple or elimination, inferential questions, meaning questions. So if you want to know more or you want to connect with me one-on-one, call the number that's on the screen in front of you or just sign up at marcat.com. And I'll see you soon with another CAT RC.